You use your credit card like a debit card. If you fear debt, then just be strategic with it. Throw your debit card away. It's a trap. Because if you lose your debit card, all your cash is on there. If you lose your credit card, whatever, they'll give you another credit card, but now you have your cash as just in case.
So what I'm hearing is debt can be a good thing if you use it right. So what do you think about like Dave Ramsey?
I think I'm an idiot. A buddy of mine, we were breaking down Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's contract. Mm-hmm. Because of all the taxes that they pay, it's almost like someone taking like a mid-level contract in like a Texas team state or Florida team state.
We were talking before here, and you said that you've been helping people fix their credit, right? And like just anybody, like if my score is 500.
It don't matter because technically none of that stuff is supposed to be in the credit report, technically. Even the good accounts. You could take literally, because it goes by law, right? Mm-hmm. So technically if it's not reporting accurately by law, it don't belong there.
So I can get anything off my credit
Anything.
report? Legally?
Legally. You don't got to do all these bullshit hacks that you be hearing people. Don't do that.
There's hacks?
There's get you locked up hacks.
Yeah.
This is what it is. Nah, but like if you just follow the law, you know what I mean? It's technically, because everything's supposed to be reporting 100% accurately by law. This is their law. Me not making it up, somebody not making it up. Mm-hmm. So if you look at your report and across the bureaus, it's not 100% accurate, it don't belong there.
Dang. So if I had like a 400 credit score, I could hit you up.
Yeah, but no, and then it just depends, right? Is it all negatives? Do you need to build it? Like I won't ever just take some money from somebody because they have a low credit score.
Right.
It might be like, hey, let's build it up. You don't need to fix it. You just need to build it. You know what I mean? And then we build it. And we have a bunch of resources to help you build it too. But no, technically, so the reason you don't take the good stuff off your credit is because you need to show trust to the financial institution you're trying to get money from. So usually you want good credit for some type of funding, right? Okay. Whether it's their business, real estate, whatever it is. So they need to show that you're responsible. That's why you keep the good stuff on there, right? But no, technically anything can come off for credit.
Okay, and then when credit's up, we can get money.
1,000%.
How much money? Like
just
$10K?
No. I tell people it's unlimited because there's so many different banks in this country, right? We need to understand how to play the game. It's a game, you know what I mean? Banks want you to get the debt so they could go ahead on the back end and trade on it and make their money on it, or make a couple points on it. I say use the banks like your business partner. Let them make a couple points off you. Yeah. Everybody's like, I don't want to pay interest. Well, I don't want to give you money, right? Like, think about it. If I'm gonna give you $100,000 for free, just pay me back whenever you would take the deal. Yeah. On the reverse, would you give that deal to anybody?
No.
So why would the bank?
Right.
They're a business too. You know what I mean? Let them make a little 1% or whatever. But in the long term, like you're building the relationship, you can keep going back for more and more and more.
Oh man, so look, I need y'all to pay attention right now. Get your notebooks if you don't already have it. Share this with your business partner. Get your spouse, get your business partner, get your kids in the room. They're gonna want to pay attention to this video. I got my man Hector in the building. Came up from where you come up from?
So I'm originally from Boston. Been in Florida forever. One thing I'm very thankful, I'm not from a good part of Boston. I don't know if anybody knows who Nicky Jam is, the reggaeton star. Watch his stuff on Netflix, you'll see who Lawrence is. His drugs and gangs and all that stuff. So the one thing I'm super proud that my dad did was get me out of there. But I've been in Florida for 30 years.
30 years. Yeah. All right, the good old state of Florida, right? Yeah. Where most of y'all are going to want to move to, especially now with Dos Santos, maybe, possibly.
You think that'll be true?
That'll change. Like, you thought people were moving to Florida
you think that'll
already?
Happen?
That'd be crazy.
You think it'll happen? Though?
I hope it'll happen.
That'll be crazy.
I think it's hard, but...
That's what I want to see, because anytime the government like takes money away from one aspect on how they're going to make money, how are they going to recover it? So what, are rates going to go up, or like what's going to change? It can't just be no property taxes, right? Because we all know there's a game that they play on the back. So I want to know how that's all going to shift.
I want to see it happen.
But if it's a marketing play for him to get people down here, obviously spend more money, it's freaking genius.
It's going to work.
It will. Everybody will move down here for that.
People are already moving to Florida. It's like the top 3 state, I think, that people are moving to. Yeah. So it's gonna
but think about it. Even athletes, right? So athletes, whenever they're negotiating their contract, they look at states like Florida and Texas, right? Like taxes, big market, taxes. Like, okay, if I'm gonna be living there, a buddy of mine, we were breaking down Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown's contract. Because of all the taxes that they pay, it's almost like someone taking like a mid-level contract in like a Texas team state or Florida team state.
Right.
Because you just save so much money. You might even make more. So they got $330 million contracts. Mm-hmm. After take home, it's about half.
That's crazy.
Right?
And I'm glad you brought that up, because what people don't understand is like business is, there's a whole picture in business. People like to focus on one thing, but if you're not looking at the whole picture, like the taxes, location, all this and all that, you're going to be screwed.
Yeah, I talked to, like, that's where, like, try to, like, really educate on what business is, right? If your business makes $100,000, you did not make $100,000. And a lot of people are like, oh, I just got to know. That's why I love debt, because, all right, you especially with what you do, right? Like, if I was like, oh, I want to save up $10,000 so I can buy this property, you got to save 10. How long is it going to take you to? You have to really make like 40 or 50 to save 10. Just go get the funding.
Yeah.
And time is money. Now you got the 10 now, so they bought the real estate with you, with the taxi, and then they could just start flipping immediately instead of waiting until they make 40 or 50 grand to finally save 10. Now they just used up all their cash.
Yeah.
Now I have to like restart the clock and make the profit all over again. If I just got the funding for it, I have it now, and I still have 10, to the side for whatever might happen in business.
So what I'm hearing is debt can be a good thing if you use it right. So what do you think about like Dave Ramsey?
I think he's an idiot. So here's what I think: it's a marketing play, right? He knows the demographic of people. It's a higher demographic of people scared of debt, especially in our communities, over people who really use debt the right way, right? So why is it that everyone says debt is bad, but go get a house?
The American way,
right?
American dream.
It's the American dream, right? That's the big. And then they don't even use the house the right way. They don't use the equity in the home to pull the equity out and either go buy another house or use that to invest into a business. Right. So they use it wrong on top of that. But I think it's stupid. Like, look at Apple. Apple probably has more cash on hand than any business in the country, and they're constantly getting like billions of dollars in lines of credit.
Oh yeah, OPM. Yeah, money, man.
Always. You could just grow faster with debt.
And it's tax free, right?
Man, there's so many advantages to it. I was literally just having a conversation with a guy about this yesterday. You can't tax debt, right? So if you make $100K in your business, that's gross revenue. Like, that's a taxable event. If you get $100K in funding, that's not taxable. That's not revenue. That's debt. So you use that, you implement it, and then you got to pay it back.
Yep.
It's debt. Like, just be strategic with it. Don't be an idiot and go buy like 30 TVs and then
don't buy the
tax is bad.
Don't buy the Lambo with it.
Unless you're putting it on tour and you're making money from it.
Yeah.
But don't just buy it because it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the problem with they see that on social media. They're like, I want to go get this Lambo. All right, cool. How much is that making you? Now, if you're using it for marketing or using it for other things, then it makes sense. But don't just get it because everybody else has it.
Right. So I want to talk about. We talk about getting debt and everything, but I want some people to understand how can they get debt? How can they walk into the banks and get money? I want to start with credit, and let's talk about credit real quick, because I feel like a lot of people in the U.S. are struggling with credit, and I think part of it is ignorance. Like they just don't know it, because to me at this point, credit's pretty easy. Yeah. Right? Like, okay, build the profile, get rid of the negatives. So let's break down credit really quick. Like, what are some things, what does the credit profile need to look like? And then I want to go into, if their profile doesn't look like that, how do we build that up? So
we'll talk about like the perfect scenario for when a bank is looking at the profile to give you as much money as possible.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people talk about, the 680, which that's 680 is more of like a minimum. If that's what you have, some banks will give you some kind of money, but like I'm always trying to maximize the profile. So if you want to maximize the profile, it's not just a score, but score is obviously super important at that 720, right? A 3-year history, right? So what that means is if you combine all your accounts and divide it by how many accounts you have, like that's how long. So if you have a 20-year account and then a 5-year account, and then you divide it by 2, would be 12.5-year average between those two accounts, right? So you want to at least have like a 3-year average when you take all your accounts. You want to have like between 5 to 7 active accounts. A lot of people close their credit cards because they don't use it, and that's the dumbest thing that they could do. Just put gas on it. You use your credit card like a debit card. If you fear debt, then just be strategic with it, right? So use your credit card like a debit card. Throw your debit card away. It's a trap. right? Because if you lose your debit card, all your cash is on there. If you lose your credit card, whatever, they'll give you another credit card, but now you have your cash as just in case, right? So definitely like history. Don't close your account so you can keep building that history. You don't really want inquiries. I'm talking about if you're going for funding now. You don't really want any inquiries on there. Just remove them. Anything not physically tied to like a credit card, you can get taken off. Because the reason I say that, you don't attack those inquiries, they'll shut the card down if you attack those inquiries on active credit cards, right? If you do it for a home loan or an auto loan, they're not going to take the car. They're not going to take the home. So you can attack those. But credit cards, if they're active, just leave them on there on the personal side. On the business side, it's different. Because technically that credit card don't belong to you, the person. It belongs to ABC LLC. So you can actually take those inquiries off, right? So really no inquiries. A lot of people don't know this, but your personal profile, make sure your name is spelled correctly. You have one address, right? This is big for military families. A lot of times military families move around, right? So or they're constantly being promoted, so you're moving. I look at everything from an underwriter's point of view, right? From an underwriter's point of view, you're always moving, you're unstable, right? Everything has to be looked at from an underwriter's point of view. Don't care what, oh no, I have like 10 houses. Yeah, that's cool. Which one do you want on your profile? Let it be, like if you have 10 houses, be your most expensive house, or where are you at the most? Let that be the one address on your profile, because now you look stable. If you work for a Fortune 500 company, leave that as your employer. Don't put self-employed on there. So like some people, they're starting their business, they work for a good company like UPS, or, something like that, and they're an entrepreneur. Don't put self-employed. Underwriter's gonna be like, I don't know about that. What if that don't work? Like, how are you gonna pay this debt back? Oh, he works for UPS. Like, he must, be solid. Consistency. You can sit there and we can give him money. But those are like the big factors. And then of course, utilization.
Pay the dang cars down.
Yeah, man.
Pay the cars down.
So when I say treat your credit card like a debit card, that means like the moment you max it out, pay it. Max it out, pay it, like immediately. Right? That's actually how they'll increase your limit. If you do that 3 times within a month for 2 months straight, they'll automatically increase your limit. For the most part, right? But treat it like your cash. So there's 2 things called like a statement date and a reporting date, right? I'm sorry, yeah, your pay, when your payment date is date, your due date, and your statement date. Whenever you pay it, don't sit there and then go max it out the next day. Right? Look at your statement. It'll literally tell you what amount is going to report. Whatever that amount is, you want it between like 5 to 12%. That's like sweet spot, And then now you look super trustworthy to the bank. Now we can go get you 50, 100. I have like video testimonials of clients like Hector got me 100K in 3 days, just like that.
100K in 3 days.
And he's scaling his company. We're doing his second round. Like he's like, hey, I owe you everything. He's scaling his company. He'll be, I don't know, he'll easily do $1 million this year. When he was like kind of struggling to like get over the hump.
Dang, man, that's funny you say the statement end date. Nobody knows about the statement end date. I had a girl. I'm like, what's going on with this card? I'm looking at her profile, and she's like, oh, I pay it on time every month. I don't know. And I'm like, okay, you pay it on time, but are you using it like the next
couple
day?
Days after.
She's like, yeah, like
max it out right after.
You pay it and wait till the statement ends, and then you can use it like after midnight on that statement end date. Then you can use that card again. And man, it's just so crazy how many people aren't being taught that.
I would say like almost 90% of people don't know that. They understand that there is a statement date, but they don't understand the importance of it. It's just educating yourself and understanding like, all right, like you want to seem financially responsible to the people giving you money. Oh, but I needed it. Use another card. Like, or a lot of people don't do this. They won't write down like all their cards and the statement dates for all their cards and be organized, and then be like, okay, so I'll pay this one here, and then if I really need to use anything, I'll use this card. And then I'll just, keep moving the money around. They won't do that.
That's crazy. So that's the credit profile. And it's funny you said, Chase, if it's a business, then it's not reporting to the person. What do you think about Chase? Did you hear about Chase? They accidentally.
So that's not I don't think that's an accident. We spoke with RM too. I don't think that's an accident. Something had to already be put in place for that to happen. across the board like that. Everybody's preaching, no doc. First of all, no doc is really not no doc. It's just no financials. That's all I mean. You still need documentations and proof that you're a legit business, right? That doesn't happen on accident, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. That already had to be implemented into the systems. What, did somebody accidentally say, hey, like, coding, how much work has to go in for that to happen across the board? I think they're testing things out.
Yeah.
Because everything is shifting. You have too many idiots on social media, like just saying things that just aren't true and putting people in bad situations, people who are losing at the banks. Even though it's insured and, every time you get money, it's really insured by the banks. People don't know that they actually take insurance out against you. Like when you get a car loan, when you get a mortgage, they take insurance out against you to like protect themselves. That's why they could write it off their taxes and stuff. But just be smarter. They are changing things though. You gotta like start really implementing, start making some money with this debt that you get. Just be smarter with it.
Yeah.
But that's why I like, the private funding and stuff that we do, because it's for people who are making money.
Private funding. So since you went there, let's go there. I know a lot of these, like you said, like the gurus online. Oh, let's get you business funding and this.
Notice they only bring up Chase cards too.
It's all usually Chase. Chase is handing out a big.
Yeah.
I mean, they hand out a pretty decent amount of that. That Chase Ink card, I see a lot of 30 to 75K, maybe 80K. So what's the difference between like what they're doing and when you say like family offices?
Yeah, so we have access to family offices, hedge funds, capital firms. Family office is usually a family worth $100 million and more, not just cash, assets and everything, and they can always pull liquidity off that asset and then extend it to a business. Asset to them could be a business too, right? But they're very bullish in businesses and real estate. So you can't be a brand new business though, right? Because think about it like this: if you're fourth generation money, right, and somebody's like, "Hey, I need 100 grand," but they don't look like they can handle 5 grand. Are you gonna be that one generation in the family to mess up that money?
Hell no.
Exactly. They think about it the same way. You have to have structure, be put together, and there's so many different types of financial products out there. I'm working with a couple athletes now where they do contract financing, and I think all athletes should have LLCs and all that when they get. That's a whole nother top, but everybody should have an LLC. Even if you're working for somebody else, they can technically pay your company. You know what I mean? So there's contract financing, there's equipment financing, asset-based lending. Man, there's just so many different types of like lines of credits that are out there. There's a bunch of different term loans too. Term loans I don't like too much. It's just because if you're not implementing the cash right away to start making some money, I don't think it's worth it, because you're paying interest on the money for it to just sit in your account. Opposed to, that's why I do like the 0% cards to like get things started.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I like lines of credits more than anything.
Just only pay on what you actually
pay on what you pull.
Take.
Yeah. So let's say you have a $250,000 line of credit. You have a project, you need to pull 30K. You pull the 30K, it'll let you select a term for that money. So 6, 12, 18 months. And you pay interest on that term, but you can always pay it off early. And then once you pay it, the money's there again.
Yeah.
But it's always there. Like, you got cash on hand to use for whatever you need to use.
Versus the term loan, if in like you got like Best Egg, SoFi, stuff like that.
Those are
$50K, but as soon as you take it, you automatically get interest. You take $50K, you actually got like $46K because they took some money off the top, and then you're paying the monthly. So you're saying like they'll be in a rush to try to make that money grow, basically.
Yeah. Like, but what if you don't need all that money? But like now you're approved for it. With like companies like that, like you gotta take that approval.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a line of credit, I can get approved for 200 grand. If I only need to use 30, I only have to pay back on 30. You know what I mean? And then you even get to select the term. So if you know you'll pay it back in 6 months, now you're only paying interest on 6 months opposed to 5 years, 6 years. You know what I mean? Like SBA, everybody's like, I want an SBA. I always ask them why. Oh, well, okay. Well, right now SBA is like, I don't know. I've seen some lenders. I have like 4 or 5 SBA lenders. Some of them are prime plus 3. It goes all the way to prime plus 6. So prime right now is like right around 8%, right? So you're paying 14% on your money for 10 years.
Dang.
If people were to like break down how much 50K would cost them, is it worth it?
Right.
Opposed to if you got a $50,000 line of credit, it's way better.
Yeah, cheaper money. And then I think you said, heard you say before, you don't like dealing with brokers?
Absolutely not. They're not like I'm very blessed with relationships. It hasn't been this easy. I've taken some huge L's, but a lot of brokers, for one, don't understand what the underwriters are looking for. They don't understand what the firm is really looking for, and they're just trying to make their money and then like bounce to the next one. And they're usually not even direct to the money themselves. There's usually somebody else in front of them before they can get to the money.
So the fees are like piling up.
Yeah, because, all right, let's just say that wall's of money. You're a broker. I'm a broker. This wall's a client. I want to make my money. You want to make your money. And then the money wants to make their money.
Yeah.
So now the client's paying 3 times before he gets to implement what he needs to. You just brought up with like SoFi and them, right? So imagine if there was 2 people in front of that.
Crazy.
So now you're $50K. You really only got $40K. But you're paying interest back on that extra $10K that you didn't get to even see.
Dang.
Right? So that's why I don't
people
like
got to pay attention to the terms.
Yes.
And really look at like what's going on.
Do the math.
And in every industry too, whether it's a business loan, whether it's like for real estate.
Yeah.
Like I see people getting hit upside the head with some of these real estate terms, man.
So like my mother-in-law one time, she got pre-approved. And we were like looking down her options. I was like, that's a bad deal. She's like, what do you mean? Like we broke down how much a little $200,000 house was gonna cost. She's like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
It was gonna cost, I don't know, like $600,000-700,000 for a $200,000 house.
Compounding mortgage.
Exactly.
They don't get it.
They don't get compounded. And that's why the 0% cards, that's why I say you gotta be very, very careful. Like my clients stay with us for a couple years. Because like if something happens and they're like, Hector, my 0% is about to run out. A lot of people don't tell you this. At the end of, it's a promotional period. For one, it's not a loan. So that 0% loan should, like, throw that out the window. It's not a 0% loan. It's usually a credit card, right? At the end, and then there's a promotional period. After 12 months, that's compounded interest since day one. So now you have to pay all that interest from day one. So whatever that balance is, some of them are like paying prime plus 10 on some of these, prime plus 12 on some of these cards. So you're paying like 20, 24, 26, 27%. Like that'll cripple somebody.
Yeah.
If they're not prepared.
Yeah.
When you could just like shift the debt to like another card and you start all over again.
Dang. So we talked about like, you know, this American ways like buying a house and stuff, and how people just don't know about credit and everything. Now this is gonna get a little bit deep here, but like, you think like society was pushing that? Like society wants us to be dumb in a sense?
1,000%. If you really look at it, how banks make money and everything like that, like they're trading on the cost security. So if anybody, when you sign your mortgage, you're signing a security. A lot of people don't know this. Like read your paperwork when you sign the mortgage. That's a security. Okay? Banks are trading on that security. They want you in it for 30 years so they can keep trading it. That's the reason like a lot of people will have a mortgage with one bank. It's usually not the same bank that they finished the mortgage with.
Yeah, they're trading it. Or they'll sell it, right?
Yeah, they sell it and they're trading it, right? They want you in there. So they can make 4, 5, 6 times their money.
That's the American way, man. Now, how do you feel about, because I want to talk about like your clubs and everything, like nonprofits. So I feel like there's this huge issue going on in society. You know, things have changed over the years. Okay, equality happened, but then it's just like, all right, then what happened to men at all these days? And then, you know, I feel like this was all kind of like in the Matrix, bro.
I don't know how deep your channels allowed it. No disrespect to anyone who passed from COVID or anything, but I think it was a social experiment. Okay, I want to see, like, if I sit there and say you have to do this, how many of y'all are gonna do it without any scientific proof, any facts or anything to say that this was going to help you or protect you from this crazy pandemic that, you know, this COVID that's coming. I want to see what's gonna happen and how many people took that without even thinking twice. So it shows how they could shift and move. They didn't allow you to travel to certain places, to do certain things. My mom worked for the school. She only got the vaccine because they said if you don't, you can't work. She's been working there 25 years. What is she gonna do? Right? I think it was a social experiment. Same thing with demasculating men. I don't like how. Now, I'm not sitting there saying you should be a man, be your wife, or that's not what a masculine man is. And I think the perception of what a masculine man is also changed.
Yeah.
You know, like, are you taking care of your wife and kids? Are you making sure everybody's good? Do you protect? Are you intelligent enough to, or in finances to make sure everything's in order, right? Are you raising your kids the right way? They're being raised with manners or not? Like, I was just at a meeting last night. I had to bring my boys with me, and like the guy that I was with, like, my kids say please and thank you for everything. Like, we were at Don Julio's little Spanish spot. They were saying it in Spanish. They're like, gracias, thank you, this and that. And the guy's like, how old are your kids? I'm like, 8 and 7. Like, that's great. Like, I was like, yeah, it's please and thank you everywhere we go. Yeah. And I even say it. I say please and thank you to the waiters and everyone out of respect. You know what I mean? And I think that's completely lost in society. Like, I see some of these kids, oh, my bad, I'll take it back. I'll see older people, way older than me. I'll open the door and they just walk by entitled, like, whatever. And they're like, Daddy, how come they ain't say? I was like, baby, don't worry about that. Like, you be true to yourself, right? And you'll always be blessed as long as you're true to yourself. So no matter where we go, like, and they're like, Daddy, they ain't even. I was like, don't worry about it. It's fine.
They don't even speak anymore these days. You know, you walk past and people look away. They try to stay on their phone. That's crazy.
No, but I'm big on, like, you know, just as men, we need to get back, right? And I feel like because of that, we struggle a lot and keep a lot of things in. Like, that's what pushed me to start, like, really, like, doing some research on, like, how to help men out. You know, I have an older son. I haven't seen him in 10 years. Like, the child support system's a joke. They don't truly care about what's best for the kid. Same thing. It's a security. Trading money on the child support case. You know what I mean? They want that in there. And I'm friends with, like Catino's, I'm friends with Catino Mobley. He's on the board for our nonprofit. He's friends with, like, Child Support is Fraud and One Credit Guy. And I'm cool with One Credit Guy too. And we talk about this, right? And how it's never really put in a position for what's good for the kid. They usually attack the men, right? So I want to provide education in that aspect too. Like, as men, you still have a right to your kids just because you're on child support. That don't matter. Yeah. You know, it's just bringing in those resources. And again, my boy, you know, unfortunately, he took his life. And I was talking to him the day before he did it. And I was in a car accident a year before that, so I still had crazy PTSD. And then that happened. I'm like, man, what's going on? And that, honestly, it was just sparked the nonprofit. Like, just providing resources for men, making sure, like, physically we invest in ourselves, mentally we invest in ourselves. Do we understand finances? How to become entrepreneurs, right? And then even, like, people who made a mistake in the past. Like, I was just talking to someone yesterday. He's like, man, that's why I became an entrepreneur. I made a mistake. I'm not saying I was innocent. I shouldn't have done it. But I couldn't get a job to take care of my family just because of the one mistake I made. He ain't kill anybody. You know what I mean? He made a mistake. Yeah. And the only way to really be successful was him to be an entrepreneur. But he was teaching himself everything. So, like, I brought all that into one place for the nonprofit.
And is that the 700?
Yeah, that's 700 Men Club.
So is it only for men?
So the pilot is only for men. I want to perfect it. I know women need help too. And my wife teaches, like, I'm blessed to have an amazing wife. She teaches me a lot. Like, I didn't, you know, like, my parents fought all the time, like divorce and, you know, typical stuff coming from where I come from. And my wife taught me there's a difference, you know what I mean? Like, we don't argue. I'm very thankful. Obviously we have disagreements, like, we're our own person, but we also understand respect, and we also know that our kids have to see that you can communicate without getting disrespectful and yelling at each other. You know what I mean? But there's certain things women go through I'll never understand, no matter how much she tells me. So 700 Men Club is first just because I'm a man. I know what I go through and I know what we go through and stuff. But we will eventually launch a women's club also.
Where's 700 Men's Club? Like, is it like an Orlando thing or?
No, it is. I mean, it's honestly global, right? I'm a peace ambassador for Nations United for Peace. I have global resources, but mental health, physical, all that stuff. Besides, and understanding finances, that's a global thing. Yeah, we're here in Orlando, but we got people all over. My board members. One of my board members is in Chicago. He's the executive director for Nations United for Peace. Catino Mobley, retired NBA player. He's on the board. He's in California, and then me and my wife, you know, here in Orlando.
Man, that's good stuff. We need that, especially with society pushing, you know, this narrative, and people don't understand. It's like we talk about business, and then we talk about, like, personal stuff, and people are like, "Oh, don't mix it, don't mix this." Like, no, it's
you're human, man. Like,
you have to mix. It's all the same stuff. The same how good of a person you are will determine damn near how good you're in business. If you lack communication, if you're lost and you don't know yourself, you're not taking care of your health and stuff like that, you bring that same stuff to the business world, you're gonna fail, right? So it's like certain books that I read, How to Win Friends and Influence People. It just makes you a better person. You know what I mean? A lot of these books, these self-development things, you become an overall better person, you will do better in business. So what would you say to individuals that like want to get into business? I'm talking to everybody, younger generation, older generation. Where are some places that they need to be? What are some things they need to be like reading? What is some advice you just give to anybody who wants to do better?
For one, I say the first step is always going to be the hardest step. A lot of people, like, you have an idea. They say, what is it, that $1 million ideas die in the grave, right? They never took that first step and at least tried it. I mean, I went to, we're talking about the Cardone, the 10X. I seen Lloyd Blankenfield. One thing he said is, our country rewards risk takers. Like, take the risk. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario don't work, so what? Go do it again.
Try again.
Or learn. You learn something. I've made hundreds of mistakes in business. I don't stop. You know what I mean?
Hundreds.
So, oh man, hundreds all the time. Like, you know how many times I'm like, yeah, this is gonna work. My wife's like, I don't think so. I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? Like, I got this good dude. She's like, he gonna screw you over. I'm like, nah. Then I gotta go back to her.
Woman's intuition.
Man, like, I love it. It's a love-hate relationship with that. Yeah. Cause like, no man, don't put that negative vibes into it. And then come to find out, sure enough, like, bro, I think she's 10 for 10. Like, she's never been wrong about a person so far. You know what I mean? Crazy. But I look at them as learning lessons, right? No situation will ever be perfect. It's how can you minimize risk? How can you make sure, like, when you go into it, you understand, like, hey, this is a risky situation. Just learn from that if it doesn't work. But just don't not do it. Just understand there's consequences when you take that risk. So I'm not telling everybody, like, yo, just, you know what I mean, go crazy and risk it all. Not like, just calculate your risks. Like, if all you have is 10 grand, to your name, put a couple grand to your credit. Yeah. And then boom, now you can take bigger risks, and it's not as much of a risk because you can go bankrupt your LLC and then start over. Yeah. People get mad at Trump, but
just try. Right, so they gotta take risk.
You have
to take risk.
One book, and it's crazy because you talk about books. My boy who took his life, he told me about this book, and it's crazy that he told me about this book. It was Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. He told me about it not too long before he passed, and it drove me crazy. I was like, damn, was he telling me something the whole time? Wow. Right? But that's a good book to read if you're starting, because a lot of times it's just mentally. You're your own worst enemy a lot of times when it comes to this stuff. Like, the devil is that negative or that voice in the back of your head telling you, like, nah, you don't do it. Or do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? I said, just be a good person, and no matter how many losses you take, like, things will come. Most people do business with me because of me. Not because of what I know, not because of what I've accomplished, because I genuinely just want to see people win. They don't got to be with me. You know what I mean? I tell people, I was like, oh, heck, this person's offering this for... I was like, man, like, if they're going to help you, like, by all means, man, go ahead. Like, I want you to win. They don't got to be in my pockets. Because then that's, like, I always say relationships have to be, like, reciprocated. It has to be a two-way relationship. You have to win and I have to win. If we're in a relationship where only I'm winning, bro, that's a dictatorship. That's not a relationship. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we both have to win. So I can't help... No, you have to do everything through me in order for you to be good. Nah, man, I'm not the only one that knows the stuff that I know. I'm blessed to know the people that I know. I'm thankful to know who I know and the things that I know. But if you can win another way and then we can elevate each other, it's a win. Yeah.
Outwitting the Devil was just said on our last podcast, actually. Yeah. Our last guest literally brought up that same book, and I bought it. It's sitting on my bookshelf. I haven't read it yet, but... And
then, so it's funny. I read that first, and then I read his, what's the one that he did before that? It's on my bookshelf too, and I just read it. It changed everything. That's why I started doing masterminds and everything like that. But Napoleon Hill wrote one right before that, and then Outwitting the Devil is almost like the one next, like after, like kind of like a sequel, but you know what I mean. But mastermind and networking, like Napoleon Hill's such a good read. Like it's all old school stuff that still works to this day. That's what I love about it. Like what he teaches is like no matter what changes we go through in society, like you can implement the things that he's teaching in his books. Which
a lot
is
of
awesome.
things haven't changed. Little do we know.
Yeah,
a lot of things haven't
as much
changed.
as hasn't.
Yeah.
Like standing on business by being a good person, like masterminding, you know, and networking. Like that's why I started networking was because of the books. Like at first I was like, I don't know, that's not where I come from. They don't teach none of that. They're like, yo, be careful.
Right.
You know what I mean? But high tides rise all ships, right? So like if we're all like sitting there raising each other up, like we can just get to a whole nother level that we couldn't if you just do things on your own.
No, that's awesome stuff, man. You have any events or anything coming up that you want to let people know about?
We're actually working on one. I've spoken to the kids at Man Up Mentoring. It's a nonprofit on, you know, bringing up boys from unfortunately, you know, underserved, underprivileged communities. I've been talking to a couple friends of mine. We want to throw an event with them. I know a guy who's funny. He's from Lawrence too, just like, you know, back home like me. He owns Wolf's Den. It's funny.
Okay.
We want to bring like supercars.
Wolf's Den Customs. Yeah. Oh, I know.
He's
Jim.
Yeah, he's
he
from
did my car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim's from like back home.
Oh,
he knows my cousin.
I know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. We were talking. And he's like, yeah, Migs is my cousin. He's like, get out of here. And
Shout out to Jim. Shout out to Jim, man. He's a beast with the cars.
His story too, though, how he, you know what I mean, came up and everything like that. Believing in yourself is amazing. But yeah, I want to reach out to him. Well, a couple of my guys have some, you know, exotic cars. We want to bring those cars to him, teach them entrepreneurship. Catino's gonna come down, talk to him, and just show kids, man, you don't gotta be drugs or hooping.
Right.
You could be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't know. Chad and my boy Eric are the big time mobile barbers here in Orlando. You know, they're gonna come give the kids free haircuts and stuff. So we're still in the planning stages, but that's the first event I want to do. Before I do an event where I'm like speaking and taking money, I want to give back.
Right.
So after that, we're gonna do an event where we're like teaching everything that we're doing, especially for 700 Men Club.
So where can the people find you at?
At Hector Perdomo 87 is my IG. At 700 Men Club for the nonprofit is on there. That's where I'm most active. I just rarely go on the other stuff.
No, man, I appreciate you. So look, if you want to connect with Hector, go ahead and give him a follow. Ask us questions. Like if you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to him or comment underneath this video. But other than that, bro, I appreciate you. This was some awesome stuff. And I'm going to see y'all on the next one.